And we're back.
What up?
Aaron's back.
It's been a while.
Aaron's back in the house. In the crypt. Live from the crypt tonight.
The new digs.
Finally, this is the first time in a minute we've done an episode at night, in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, it's fantastic. It's been a minute. What is up with Broadway?
Just getting ready for Metal Fest.
Metal Fest.
Really? Practicing. We're getting up a couple different merch designs that are going to be there.
New.
Yeah. Stuff that we've had for a little while, but,
But new to the public?
Yeah.
So some new t-shirts. Anything other than t-shirts? Because isn't that all you've had? No, you've had hoodies too. You got hoodies, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same as the shirt designs, but
Which is just the logo.
Yeah. You can't really sell those during the summer months.
Yeah.
They don't really do too well.
Sell them at a super discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need some tank tops for sure. That'd be a good one.
Matt's been talking about wanting a Viscera or a Meyer tank top.
You definitely should do Viscera. You should do all three of them on a shirt.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like
we were messing around the other day, or just kind of talking about some different designs or different things, and I was like, I just want a Viscera morph suit. I can wear it on stage. It's got like the face, and it's just like this like gnarly looking.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
that would be sick. I would enjoy that.
I think we were talking about like stage clothes or something, and I was like,
yeah.
everybody was talking about like different like stuff, like shirts or whatever, and I was like, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. It's like because I'm like behind drum set or whatever, and I was like, that's all I want.
Right.
Somehow that led to let's get a Viscera morph suit.
That would be fucking heavy. I would I'd wear that to a concert. That'd be sick.
Dude, that's like probably like the best promotion. Really. Like that,
yeah.
That'd be just like, I don't know.
Just wear it around town with a big ball gray sign. Yeah. A little cape on. That'd be fucking awesome.
Well, the backpacks would serve as the
Oh
cape.
yeah, there you go. Got some little backpacks coming out.
Oh yeah, yep.
I'm excited about t-shirts though. I want some new shirts. For sure. Make sure you get XXX.
Yeah.
Because they shall rink.
Yeah, I think, I'm pretty sure this design that we have is gonna, because we went through, custom make for them, so they're like.
Oh, that's who you, okay.
Yeah, so they're like the top quality.
Really?
That we can get, yeah.
Sweet.
So,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty excited about.
Hell yeah. Maybe we get them to do some Lost in the Dark t-shirts.
Could be.
Preston's got a whole bunch of cool ass fucking designs right now that we have yet to use. So
does he still do all the
logos? Yep,
yeah.
He does all the logos. He did the song intro that we're currently using, and he did the video intro that we're currently using. So all of the video intros. There's more than one I just use a different one for every episode. So. Yeah, it's fantastic. And the last episode, the last episode with him and he edited, and he used I don't know what program, but like a really good one, some really good video editing program, and fucking the whole thing sounded really good, really even. Like it was fantastic. So, yeah, that was cool. But yeah, no, let's fucking get to it because this episode is about one thing only, and that thing is Devil Driver. Holy shit. Okay, so just real quick, so the last time I talked about it on here, kind of a weird situation, honestly. One episode, I kind of was salty with Napalm because they were late on the pre-order, but it was before I had contacted them, and then I contacted them, and they were super cool, emailed me back really fast, I was like, that's awesome, sweet. Then another, week and a half went by. And heard nothing, saw nothing, got nothing. I even went on Napalm's Facebook to see the comments on the post. They disabled the comments. I was like, oh.
Probably smart, considering.
I then emailed back the person that emailed me, emailed customer service, and emailed customer service directly from the website, and called the phone number over the course of 3 days, and never got a single response from any of it. And then it arrived just in the mail. So that's weird. I don't know. It's, kind of weird. I don't know. But
pretty well worth it, though.
But yeah, honestly,
Mm.
like when it got here, all my angst towards it went away. I was like, oh, this is way better than I thought it was gonna be. Like everything about this box set. Apparently, there's only 500 of them,
Oh,
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, a little limited
Yeah,
crossover thing.
Yeah,
I honestly kind of think that the flag is the coolest part of it.
yeah, definitely,
Like,
definitely.
I'm
Flag is sick.
been a sucker for those kind of.
I love the fabric, dude.
Yeah.
The Dio one is the first one I ever got, and I love it. I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic. I like it more than posters, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
they're great.
We should think about doing those.
Oh, that would be sick.
You know?
A ball grade one would be so
Yeah.
good. Any of your covers, probably the first one though would be the best.
I mean, it'd probably be, I mean, the most detailed, but I think that if we did like a kind of like redesign for Meyer and had like a big like fold out
Oh,
of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A big landscape kind of.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So,
But anyway, yeah.
where do we want to start? I guess we'll start at the concert because that was what, a week ago. It's about a week ago
Was it?
today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
I think we went. Hell yeah. So last week, Aaron and I went down to Battle Creek, Michigan to see Devil Driver on their Country Outlaws album tour. Only like a 6 or 7 date tour. 2 of those dates, oddly enough, from Michigan. One of them, I think it's called the Diesel Lounge or something like that up in Chesterfield.
Mm.
I swear to God, every time Devil Driver comes to Michigan, on a small tour especially, they go there. I have yet to see them there, but next time I'm going to be sure to catch them there. This time, though, we went down to Battle Creek to the Music Factory. These are also the people that put on the Metal Fest in Battle Creek, the Michigan Metal Fest. So,
Yeah.
very closely associated.
It's one of my favorite venues.
Honestly,
I've been there a couple of times.
yeah, you've been there a couple of times and played there. And that was my first time there is when we just went.
It kind of bums me out, like the location of it, where it's at, because it's kind of like pretty.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's like in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like in a neighborhood that borders factories.
Yeah.
And way, way far away from the highway. But then again, so is Metal Fest. Metal Fest is even deeper. Like, you gotta like get on some back roads to get to the fucking highway for Metal Fest. Yeah, where it's actually located is a little weird. But at the same time though, I mean, when you're us and every single concert, no matter what, we're driving an hour to get to, no matter what, like, we're always getting off the freeway, taking a bunch of roads to the venue. You know, it's not that weird for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It did feel a little strange being off the freeway for that long, but it wasn't, you know, it was 10 minutes, you know what I mean? We're kind of used to it being right there in Detroit or whatever.
Well, it doesn't really seem to be like a hindrance or whatever, because they always, I mean, at least recently, they've posted about a couple different shows that have come through and like bigger bands and stuff. So plus it kind of reminds me of Max a little bit, like Max, like the size of it, but like the vibe of the Machine Shop kind of.
To me, yeah, the physical layout of it is a shrunken down intersection.
Or that.
Like, from the location of the bar.
Yeah.
Like, everything about that is the exact same as the intersection.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a Machine Shop size. We're talking 150 feet long, maybe 50 feet wide. Like, it's very, very tiny. It's tall, though. It's really tall. Which is why the stage is able to be up as high as it is, like, at the intersection.
It's cool from like when you're playing it and stuff, and because you're not only is the stage higher, but the drum riser in the back is even higher, so you're like looking out across everything. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
I always liked. I mean, I think we only played there one time, but I'd like to get more shows there because it's fun.
It's good. It looks like a fun spot to play.
And the sound is.
The sound was fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good considering the size of the club.
Mm-hmm.
So who was the first band? Nova Blast.
Yeah.
Nova Blast was the first one. We got there.
Like halfway. No.
They were
Nobody
playing.
started.
Really?
Maybe not.
Were they
I think they were
playing?
like halfway through their set. Maybe.
I think they were playing when we got there.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They weren't. Nobody was playing when we walked in and they came on.
It was just before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it being really short though.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them. I tried to find them on Instagram. Couldn't. So I didn't really I couldn't find much about them or anything like that. I don't know where they're from or anything.
Mm.
But for a first opener that I've never ever heard of before and I couldn't find anything on, I bobbed my head. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't bad. It wasn't anything. I didn't see anything spectacular, but it wasn't anything. It was a good first act to have on the stage because it definitely helped build the tone of the show for sure.
Yeah.
So they definitely did a good job of that. But then was there only 3 bands?
Yeah. That was a weird
Really?
lineup. Yeah.
So it was just 2 openers and the Devil Driver.
Yeah. So we didn't really miss anything as far as
wow.
yeah.
That was not a lot at all.
Yeah, it was one of the. I remember. I don't know. I sent a text to our band chat being like, "This is like the first show I've been to where the headliner starts at like 9
Yeah.
or 9:30." I was like, "That's weird."
It's very
Usually
weird.
it's like 11
Yeah.
or like 10:30 or something. Like,
That was strange.
but no, it was. I mean, it was cool though. Like
Yeah.
I almost I kind of wish that there was one more band just because it felt. I mean, sometimes I don't know. You know how it is. Sometimes all you want to see is just a headliner. Sometimes, and then other times it's maybe one more band wouldn't hurt just to kind of make the show a little bit longer and stuff. But
yeah, just to make it longer.
Yeah,
would have been nice.
But yeah, the Convalescence.
The next band that came out, Convalescence. Go ahead.
They're sick.
They fucking tore that shit up, dude.
Like that.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, there was a point. I think midway through their set where everybody kind of started to I don't know, you saw everything, that moment where everything kind of moves out and
Yep. It
starts getting crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that was cool. And I'd heard about them bunch of times because I think they're either on a tour now or they just got off of one or whatever.
They have a fantastic online presence.
Yeah.
I was easily able to find them, and so I had been seeing them post a lot before this Devil Driver show.
Yeah.
And yeah, fucking from Toledo. Fucking, what would you call it? Like black metal almost. It's right there. It's right there on that border.
Very I'd say, what did it remind me of? It was I mean, I don't even want to use the phrase black and deathcore because it wasn't. Because it wasn't very I don't know, there wasn't very much deathcore or whatever. And I think it was more more like black metal, heavier.
It's not. It was kind of.
It's tough because they had a keyboard element too.
Yeah.
Which was
so
really
there was a lot
cool.
of melodic.
Yeah, and she was really good too.
She was fantastic.
Especially the vocal.
Yeah,
stuff
she did a song.
I think their second and third song. Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, and
I don't know what to call them though.
Just as a side note, some of their merch was awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking.
Some of the coolest designs I've seen from
They are a band I'm buying some merch from at Michigan Metal Fest. I'm so happy that they're going to be at the Metal Fest.
Yeah.
Very excited to see them there.
It's hard to do a merch design with all of your members on a T-shirt because sometimes it looks kind of weird.
It always looks weird.
Yeah.
Like that AC/DC shirt right behind you.
Yeah, it's very old, I don't know, but rock and roll kind of you know what I'm saying?
I don't like to get T-shirts with pictures of the band on it. Yeah.
But it kind of worked in their favor because of their the whole corpse paint thing and
they have costumes and wear makeup and stuff. So and when you do something like that, see that's the thing is you can't have pictures of yourself, but you can have a distorted animated version kind of a thing or something.
It's kind of what it was.
Yeah. Which is, Cannabis Corpse had a shirt like that too. That's actually pretty cool. So,
they had a couple of different designs like that. There was just kind of cool to look at. I don't know.
It was so good. I bought 2 of them. Couldn't help it. I can't wait to see them again. But yeah, so the Music Factory I thought was cool. Fucking really cool. The openers, one of them not bad. Other one fucking blew my socks off, really and we actually met the lead singer at the merch table afterwards, and he was a really nice guy.
Briefly, but,
really chill, fucking seemed down to chill, you know what I mean? Seemed cool as fuck, so.
It was weird because they just finished and stuff, and then all of a sudden he's over there.
Immediately.
Wow.
He went straight from the stage to the fucking merch booth, seemed like.
Must be what it's like being a vocalist.
Something, yeah.
Because I've never, I've never really had,
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to take down.
Well, yeah, no, that was cool.
And then fucking Devil Driver came out.
And then...
And they started the show with End of the Fucking Line.
Yeah.
Oh!
Which I'm pretty sure they did at
Metal Fest. Yeah, I think so too.
I think that might be their opener because it seems like
it hasn't always been.
No?
No, I've definitely seen it where they haven't started with that, and I love it when they do. Oh, man.
It's that guitar intro. That's just like you start there.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. It just gets you going.
No.
Gets you going. Yeah, they came out with full fucking fury. Like, my only problem last year at Metal Fest was that this all day long they were having sound problems. All day long. Even when you guys were playing the fucking mic fucked up. And even besides that, like, they were clearly like messing with levels, trying to get things right while bands were playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so when they did that with Devil Driver, you know, there were certain songs where like you could barely hear whole instruments and it was hard to figure out what fucking song was playing.
Yeah.
But not this time. This time in that Music Factory place, the fucking sound was perfect. The only song that I was like, when the chorus came on, I was like, oh, I do know this song. It was one that normally had, I forget which one. Might have been These Fighting Words. But because it normally has like a slow build, long intro, and they just cut that whole intro out and went straight into the song. I didn't pick up on that immediately.
I think it kind of took me back too because they played "Cry for Me, Sky" or something like that, Eulogy or whatever.
Yep.
I hadn't heard that song in it's been a minute, so like I was like, oh shit, like that's awesome.
Yeah,
because I don't think I've ever heard them play that live.
That's a really fucking good song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they fucking absolutely destroyed it. Now, I want to talk about this. How do you feel? Because Devil Driver does not play encores. They don't do encores.
They're pretty clear about that.
They're pretty adamant about that.
Like,
how do you feel about that? And it's not to say that they like shorten the show at all.
To me,
they just play through what would normally be the break.
To me, it almost seems like it's not a surprise anymore, because it almost seems like, you know, every band does that thing where, like, you know, they play, like, they say it's, you know, last song or whatever, and then they play it and they get through it and they walk off stage and then the lights are off or whatever, and then everybody, like, you're standing there for a second, they come back out, like, it almost seems really like predictable, I guess, in a way. Like, it's not really an encore, like, it's more like they kind of plan this, so, like, it
happens at literally every show you've ever been to.
So it's not like a surprise or anything, like, it's not like, you know, unless like the show is, you know, I mean, you could pretty much tell once it's all over and stuff, because, like, the lights come on, like, you know, I've, like, usually, like, some of the different music starts or whatever, like, they turn the house lights on and stuff like that, so, like, you can kind of tell, but, like, I don't know, I mean, sometimes it's kind of cool, like, when it's not super predictable, like, oh, this is the last song, and then they walk off stage, everyone starts, like, chanting and stuff, and then, I guess that's kind of, like, I don't know, I guess, like, I'll take it, because it's, you know, most of the time it's, you know, they come out and they play, like, their two or three different songs that, like, you've been waiting to hear the whole time, most of the time,
right? So,
like, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about it. I guess it doesn't really bother me. It's just kind of like, it seems really, like, calculated now. Like, it definitely, it's not like, you know, if you were back in, like, I don't know, let's say, like seeing, like, Zeppelin or something. Right. And, like, you know, they get through the whole set and stuff, and that would be it. And then it's like, you know, everybody decides that, like, they want to hear, like, one more song or whatever. And so, like, you know, it's like a big, like, so it seems like, you know, kind of like a big surprise and stuff, but, like, I don't know. I guess I've never been surprised by it. It's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I've never felt like, oh, like, awesome. They decided to, like, you know, at the last minute, you know, I guess, I mean, except with the exception of, like, you know, the first couple, like, bigger shows I went to. But, like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter to me, I guess.
I'm in between on it. Like, when you really think about it, I guess it really is just, like, time that time could be filled with another song that they're playing for me.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way,
most of the time it's like a, you know, like a minute or two.
Yeah.
And then,
you look at it as there's just time here where the band I paid to see isn't playing just because of this weird like rhythm we've all developed with an encore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of, on the one hand, I definitely don't mind the rhythm because it's like a strategic. It is strategic, definitely, because what happens? Like you just spent the last fucking 35 minutes in a pit, and the air is thick and humid. There's no fresh air. You almost feel like you're gonna throw up because you're breathing this hot, nasty air.
Yeah.
And you're covered in sweat and blood and who the fuck knows what else.
Most of it not even yours.
Most of it not even yours. And you are completely exhausted. Yeah. But yet when they come out for the encore, which you know is coming, you're not surprised by it, it energizes you. Like it gives you that second life that you need to get through like this last fucking most intense part of the show usually. So I enjoy that aspect of it for sure.
I would almost, I mean, yeah,
especially in the context of something as intense as a heavy metal concert specifically. Yeah. Like any other form of music where you're never doing what we do at a metal concert. You're never fucking breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? Any other form of music, it seems the encore seems irrelevant and has just time lost. But specifically in something as crazy as a metal show, it does seem to have a place.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And I know exactly what you're talking about as far as, like, you know.
It's like, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
But you're ready now.
When you're just, like, ready to keel over and, like, die, pretty much. Like, you know. I get, like, I don't know, my thing is just, like, you know, don't treat it as an encore. Because at this point, I don't feel like it is. I just kind of feel like it's, like, you know, a break. Mm-hmm. Like a short break or whatever, instead of, I guess that's kind of my thing.
And here's the weird thing, is Dez did something else at our concert that I've never seen anyone do ever. The lead singer told the entire crowd to sit down. First of all, you just released an entire country covers album, and the cover that you're playing tonight is Sail, which seemed very strange to me.
Yeah.
And then during that song, you have everyone in the crowd sit down.
It was like 3 songs in, too. It wasn't even, like, I mean, most of the time it's like later on in the set, I guess, but...
I would have much rather been standing up for a country song.
Yeah. Especially some of them that are...
Yeah.
You know.
Like... that just seemed like some strange choices. I don't know.
And then, like, halfway through the song, everybody just decided
stood up
to
anyway.
stand
like,
up.
what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. The only other time that I've seen that, and it's mostly just because it's kind of something they do, is Slipknot.
Well, they do the jump up with it, though.
It's still different, but it's.
They have a second part to that.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, everybody sit down, we're going to take a breather.
Yeah.
It's literally what he said. He's like, all right, we're tired. It's hot in here or something. It was hot. It was crazy hot. But still, I've been in hotter and gone harder for longer.
Yeah.
Like, don't believe me, watch Live Dominance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm still so jealous of the fact that, like, not only were you at that show, but you're on that DVD a couple of times.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
A couple of times I'm in that pit.
That's sick, yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of us left that show without injury. Me and Preston were pretty much the only ones unscathed. We're talking broken ankles, asthma attacks, shirts being ripped off of bodies, like...
Oh, yeah.
Absolute fucking chaos. One of the best shows I've ever seen. So yeah, Devil Driver. Honestly, I've seen them a fuck ton of times by now. But
they come around a few times a year.
Oh, they come. Like... They tour relentlessly, and I try to see them every fucking time they come. Honestly, I think that show, in terms of set list, Sail is the only thing I would have replaced. One song.
Yeah.
Out of the entire set list. So, fuck it. You know what I mean?
I guess, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of... I don't know. I'm kind of, like, tired of hearing that song.
I'm tired of it, too.
Like, not just that.
Yeah,
that
not just from them. Because honestly, their version of it is... I've heard the normal one way more.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, it's just overplayed.
Yeah.
Tired of it now. And so I will say that maybe a show that I'm not remembering the entire set list of before they ever wrote that or covered that song. I know I saw them before they came out with that cover at the Machine Shop. So one of those set lists might have been a little bit better. And the sound at the Machine Shop is always really good. But it's bigger than the Music Factory, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of length.
Yeah.
So this was definitely one of the best fucking shows I've ever seen them play by far. Absolutely.
Just if you're listening to this, all we want, if you're gonna play a cover,
oh god,
all we want to hear at this point is fucking Wasted Years.
Oh my god!
Like just one time.
It's like one of
one time
all-time favorite covers is the Devil Driver cover of Wasted Years by Iron Maiden. Like, and it's with as many fucking times as I've seen them. They still haven't played it.
Yeah.
I want to see it so bad. Oh, I love that song. And honestly, that or anything off this, what we're about to talk about. So, finally got to hear the Country Outlaws album. The box set arrived yesterday, and I've been listening to it nonstop. First of all, it's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. For some weird reason, I thought it was only like 8, 9 songs or something like that. It's a 13-song album.
Yeah.
It's a full length. Fantastic.
That's like 13 actual full-length songs. It's not like 2 intros.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, straight up 13. Every single one of them is a track.
Most of the time, I think that's how their albums are anyway.
Yeah,
they don't really have any intros or like interludes or anything that I can remember.
No, not really.
Which is cool because I mean it's
there might have been one on. No, I was thinking maybe there was one on Pray for Villains, because isn't that album like almost 20 songs long or something?
With the extra stuff,
yeah,
it's like 18.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
fucking enormous. Yeah. Love that album.
One of the it's kind of I don't know, like I kind of had to like walk away from it for a little while because I listened to it so much that I was just kind of like I got tired of hearing it, but like I don't know, going back to it, I think it's like definitely grown into one of my favorites.
Definitely. It's definitely one of my favorites of theirs. It's one of the first. When I really started getting into them, it's one of the first ones they came out with. Because isn't that one right after Last Kind Words? Yeah. So, Last Kind Words came out, then I got really into Devil Driver, and then Pray for Villains came out. And then Beast.
Dude, Forgiveness is a 60 one.
I love that song.
Still one of my favorite, like...
Fucking love that song.
Waiting for November.
Waiting for November is one of my all-time favorite Devil Driver songs. Country Outlaws Volume 1.
Pretty different. Pretty interesting. I think it translates well with what they're like. I'm not the biggest. I mean, I don't listen to country at all, really. But like,
most of these songs I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Before hearing them on this album, besides the big ones like Ghost Riders or whatever, which Children of Bodom covered on their cover album in a really cool cover.
Yeah. Like some of them I've heard before, but not well enough to be able to tell you like what they are really.
Right.
Like I know I've heard Whiskey River before.
I'd never heard that.
Yeah, mostly because it's kind of dumb. Mostly because it's on GTA.
Well, yeah,
it's on new GTA.
And the other thing too is it seems like a lot of people that are into that style of it are introduced to it by somebody like their parents or something, and my parents, any kind of music, so yeah. But in terms of cover albums, so one thing that it's almost like 2 different paths you can take. It's like, do we just do the original song with our slight little tinge, or do we make it our own?
Yeah.
And with earlier this year, we had Lamb of God, Burn the Priest come out with their Legion XX cover album of the punk songs. And I was expecting a Lamb of God album. What I got was a punk album. It's a straight up through and through punk album. Like I own a punk album, and that one's it. You know what I mean?
No.
It's I would not put that in the heavy metal category at all. And it is really good, and I do like it. but because I'm not that into the punk style of music personally, it doesn't have a lot of replayability to me.
Yeah. No, I kind of felt the same. Like
Yeah.
I was into that, like more punk music when I was younger, but it wasn't really anything like that. It was just kind of like dabbling into it and stuff. So like I didn't really know a whole lot of those songs aside from like the Bad Brains and like
I didn't know like any of them.
I mean I don't know, because like I don't know, more recently I've kind of been trying to get into that like the more like iconic like punk bands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so more so now, like I recognize some of them, but yeah, it didn't really grab me like I was hoping it would, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't. It's like I liked it a lot, but it really didn't grab me the way I was hoping it would. Exactly. Yeah. This, on the other hand, some of these songs you could seamlessly place on a Devil Driver album, and you wouldn't blink an eye. Like you would. Oh, this is a new Devil Driver song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so fucking pitch perfect. The only songs like they have a really good way of marrying the two styles that I just talked about, because there are a couple songs. It seems like every single song that has a guest vocalist who is not from the heavy metal world, they're from the country world. Every one of those songs seems to stick closer to the original. Granted, most of these originals I haven't heard, but what I would have to imagine would be closer to the original than what some of the other ones are. Like, for you know what I mean? Like, some of them are just so fucking goddamn relentlessly heavy, people. Like, this is one of the heaviest albums I've heard new albums I've heard in a long time. They sent the fucking drums to the moon so far over the top that it just punches you in the fucking face constantly.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on that, drummer?
No, I agree, man. Like, I don't know, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit before kind of listening to it and stuff, but I wasn't initially, like, because I was like pretty big into Chimera when I first heard them.
Which is
well, I don't know, like I like them more, I guess. Like,
and why is that relevant?
Because he's the drummer,
right? The original drummer to Chimera is now the drummer to Devil Driver.
Yeah. So being a fan of that band and stuff, I was pretty excited to hear the album that came out with him on it, with a couple of different, which ended up being
Trust.
Yeah. And I think kind of what's happening is like it was either that one or it was Winter Kills that they had the 3 new members on.
It was Trust.
Was it?
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is like they're kind of getting into their like a little bit more like comfortable with their like the lineup and stuff, as far as like
in terms
writing
of on the Country Outlaw. Yeah.
Because this felt to me, kind of like you said, like if you didn't know any better, it was just pretty much just like a straight
fucking Devil Driver.
Yeah.
Really heavy Devil Driver.
Yeah.
And that was, and here's the other thing: is the original drummer Devil Driver, John, what's his name? Becklin.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
And I always fuck up his name, but he's one of my fucking favorite drummers of all time. Like, him and Adler are probably my 2 favorites that are going right now, making new music and stuff. I'm not a big fan of Bachlin's new... Man, I haven't heard the album. I only heard the few singles that they originally released, and I wasn't a big fan of them. I do want to give the whole album a try, though.
I would.
But here's the thing, is he wrote most of the music in Devil Driver while he was in it. So up until Trust, a lot of that music was written by him. A lot of Clouds Over California, End of the Line, fucking, all the ones off the first 3 that are really considered, they're big ones. Grinfucked, which they played in the middle of their set. Yeah, that's usually the ender. Yeah. That was surprising. That's like their black label.
Kind of, yeah.
But
that song is.
I love that one.
I always forget about it, and then they play it. It's like.
So, so much of what I loved about Devil Driver left in 2015. And up until that point, I felt like that band was doing nothing but consistently getting more relentless and more heavy with every fucking album.
Yeah.
And then I felt like Trust didn't get heavier or better than Winter Kills. It felt like to me, it just felt like there was something lacking from most of that album. Yeah. Like just something was missing. I can't even put my finger on it. There was just a little something missing that didn't push it over the edge like every single one of their previous albums had. This shit, now granted, they didn't have to write any lyrics. They probably only had to, like, dabble with the guitars. They probably didn't have to do... They definitely had to turn it up and make it faster, figure out where to go in certain parts. Like, if we're speeding this part up, but in the original it's drawn out for a reason, how do we overcome that sort of a thing? They definitely had to do a lot. So... But I feel, would you agree that the thing that had to be rewritten the most by far would have been the drums for the covers album?
Yeah. From
the originals to what we've heard.
Yeah.
The insanity.
Yeah.
So
it's some of the fastest stuff I think that they've done in a long time.
That was fucking nuts. Like, some of it's nuts. The Whiskey River with Randy Blythe.
Specifically that song
is just unbelievable. It's so fucking good. It's been a minute. It's been a long time since I've been sitting in the car with the song all the way up and went, is this too heavy? Like, is this too heavy? What is this?
Well, it happened earlier when we were listening to it, because, like, I haven't, admittedly, like, I heard it when it first came out and stuff, so I haven't really, like, come back to it since. But
that was one of the singles?
I don't know if it was one of the singles, but it was, I don't know.
Oh, when the album first came out, 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah. And, there's something to be said about when you're listening to something for, like, the first handful of times and stuff, and you hear something in it, and you're like, hang on, like, let me go back for a minute, because that was sick, like,
yeah.
And one of those things, I think today was that drum part in that song, because, like, I don't know, like, starts off kind of, like, slower and, like, kind of, like, more simple, and it just kind of builds into this, like, faster part. It's like,
it's so good.
It's hard to not speed.
It's so, yeah.
Listening to that shit,
yeah, dude. It's hard to not fucking skydive with the devil. Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, it's into a volcano. Like, riding Rodan or something. Fuck. God damn it. I don't even know. It was so fucking good, though. It was so good.
Yeah.
So, this album felt like 10 steps forward in heaviness from what I was expecting. Yeah. Even expecting based off the first handful of singles. 10 steps forward in heaviness. So I have been loving it, and it has tons of replayability. I don't remember what I gave the Burn the Priest album, but I think I gave it like 2 or 3 goat heads. This I'm giving 5. I'm fucking loving this so far. Like, absolutely loving this.
Kind of forgot that was our scaling system.
Here in the crypt. I'm lost in the dark. We use goat heads.
What did you say?
I'm giving it 5.
5?
I'm like that as just for that Whiskey River song alone, like because that's something that's always bothered me about heavy metal. That's one of the things I like about rap that I don't like about heavy metal is how everybody always needs to be separate. Nobody can guest on each other's fucking albums. Like, there's not a lot of mixing going on, whereas rappers, fucking everybody has a song with everybody. And when your favorite ones do one together, it's like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Dez and Randy are 2 of my all-time favorite vocalists, and this is the first time, like, I've ever heard them on a song. Randy is someone who's breaking that mold, though. He's been on a lot of other people's shit. A whole lot. That song he has with Jasta.
Oh, dude.
I love that song. Love that song. I play it all the time.
I don't remember what it is, but
and now this is next up on that playlist. You know what I mean? Like,
he's one of those vocalists, and I was thinking about this earlier, where, like, you don't even really have to be, like, paying attention to what's going on, but, like, if it's a song with him on it, like, you instantly know that's who it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's like Corey Taylor. Like, he's got that same kind of, like, those different
very
traits
distinct.
And stuff, but, like, yeah.
But, I mean, even in the realm of screaming in that style of vocals, he's distinct.
Yeah. Dude,
nobody sounds like him.
It's the highs.
Yeah.
That get me. It's like...
It's that...
Oh, like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds like a lion. Like,
yeah.
And the little tweaks in it, too. Like, in, like, the the little things that he does at the end and the beginning of some stuff literally sound like a fucking lion. Like,
Yeah.
just, oh, I love it so much. Yeah, and to finally hear him and Dez on a track, because Jasta, he doesn't have that growl in his vocal style.
Yeah.
And to hear two very distinct and very different growl screaming vocal styles, to my favorite one, the only one of like some Angela Gassau and Alexi Leho are those would probably be my top 4 all-time favorites. So 2 of them doing it together for the first time, I've never heard any of them mix. You know what I mean? So yeah, that alone was extremely exciting.
Not like studio stuff, but that I think we talked about it at one
We
point.
found a
that,
video once.
It's 5 minutes alone, where it's like
A Pantera
everybody,
song.
Yeah, everybody was on the tour. I think at the time.
I don't even know what tour that would have been.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because there was Dez, there was I think Jasta, Ivan Moody, Randy Blythe, fucking.
Just like
and
watching
more.
the video, you're like, is that?
Yeah, like is that? Wait,
Yeah.
what? What the fuck? Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. But yeah, that more of that kind of shit. I'm all for more of that in heavy metal. I want more fucking mixing. I want guests on each other's fucking albums. I want to hear my favorite artists fucking playing together. You know what I mean? Like, and then when they go on tour, they have something to do together live, which makes that show so much more extra special.
Yeah.
And because so many of these bands toured together. Bodom's probably the only one that doesn't really. They have toured with Lamb of God, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, you see it, I think. More
Randy Blythe has the COBHC on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like crude or whatever, but like, yeah.
Children of Bodom, man?
Yeah.
I want it.
I think it happens more so. I've been seeing it happen more so recently with like bigger like deathcore bands, I guess.
Okay.
So like.
It does seem like the core genre specifically.
So like.
Anything core
I've seen
does it.
CJ from The Art is Murder on a couple of different bands and stuff, and like, but as far as like bigger, you know, collaborations like that and stuff, like doing, I don't know. I mean, I guess the last one I can think of is there's a song on, I think it's on Holy War from Die Art, and it's got Winston, is it, from Parkway?
No way, really?
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
hell
show it
yeah.
to you.
He's one of my other favorites.
Yeah, it's like during one of it's like a build up, and then it just hits this. It's called Coffin Dragger. So,
Alright.
dude, sick. Like,
Hell
I'll
yeah.
show it to you. I'm surprised I haven't yet.
I haven't heard
Like,
that one.
Yeah, but as far as like, you know, like that kind of like that scale, and like bands like that, like bigger, you know, like I guess like staple bands, I guess, kind of what we're talking about. Like, I can't really think of too many recently. I know
Or
that-
ever.
Yeah.
And these bands have been around for almost 20 years now, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Devil Driver started in 2002.
You know,
So,
thing that's like, and I was kind of looking it up earlier, except with the exception of like, I think Winter Kills was like 3 years out, but they've been consistent with putting out something every 2 years.
every other year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. No, they're nonstop. They're absolutely relentless in album making and touring. Constantly touring, constantly making music. It's fucking fantastic. And like Des said on the documentary that we just watched the making of documentary that came with the album. He said on there, he was like, we knew that there would be 3 years until the next Devil Driver album, so we wanted to put out something in between to, you know, just for people to have, and something fucking heavy, and that's what the fuck it is. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, it's so fucking heavy. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to get you know, when you're only on your first couple listens, you haven't worked out the finer details of the album yet. So
yeah,
I'm still doing that, and I'm excited to do it.
I think it's like, I don't know, it's probably contradictory with what I said before, but like I don't know, admittedly I'm not like the biggest, you know, country fan, and
Neither am I.
most country now is like, I don't know, I guess it's called like classified as like pop country, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't like
Yeah.
any of that.
But like, I don't know, it's gotta be kind of, because like they were, you know, kind of just like the way they were talking about the similarities between heavy metal and like outlaw country, I guess, is, I don't know, it's got me kind of curious to, you know, kind of go back and like listen to some of the stuff that I've been kind of like, you know, like I haven't, as long as popular as it is, I haven't really like listened to too much like Johnny Cash and like, you know, people like that, but it's got me kind of like, you know, and I guess that's the point really,
Mm-hmm.
is like to kind of open that that door to stuff that you wouldn't normally listen to.
Yeah,
I
check
guess.
out this. You like this cover version of it. Maybe you like the original too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of songs that I have gone back and learned to like, or ended up liking the original a whole lot, just as much as the cover that I wouldn't have known about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Devil Driver's always done some great covers, like Black Soul Choir.
Oh, dude, I was just about to say that.
I love that song.
Yeah, I didn't, and that's another example of not thinking that's a cover. For the longest time, I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just the original. I was like, dude, this is
this
is awesome.
Yeah, they fucking, you know what it is? You know why I love it all so much? They fucking gallop.
Yeah.
Devil Driver's not afraid to gallop. Everybody else is afraid of the gallop. I don't know why. Is it like, what is that?
I don't know.
Do you don't get it either?
Yeah.
Do people look at it as like just a cheap trick kind of a thing, or what?
I mean,
don't know.
It is like, I don't know.
It's so good though.
You kind of define it with like, I don't know, like 80s.
Oh,
I wouldn't say like, I'm not saying it's bad by any stretch. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
I know. Devil's advocate.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really see anything wrong with it if it fits the song, but it does give it kind of a weird, like feeling, you know? Like,
To me,
yeah.
it gives me feeling of what I imagine steroids probably feel. Just an injection of...
Yeah.
And...
Well, because you come from more of like a, like Iron Maiden kind of background
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
so, like,
where...
Yeah.
Metallica, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
See, for me, like, I don't really think about it like that, because that was really, like, I don't know. I guess when I was getting into it, it was more, well, I don't know, because more, like, I guess you could, like, a lot of different, like, metalcore bands did it.
Did they?
To a point. I don't know, really, like, Avenged stuff, and, like,
Yeah, they
like
did
that.
do it, too, didn't they?
Yeah, more so, like, their earlier
I
albums.
forgot about that.
So,
huh.
I don't know really where I was going with this, but...
Well, too, when I was getting into all those heavy metal documentaries, it inspired me to go back and listen to more fucking Deep Purple than just Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
And it inspired me to, check out some of the fucking older bands and stuff like that. And I've always loved, even though I probably know a song and don't know it's one of his songs, but I couldn't off the top of my head name for you a Willie Nelson song. Honestly. Yeah. But I've always loved Willie Nelson. Yeah. I love Willie Nelson. Like, fucking, every time I see him, I'm happy in anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Absolutely love Willie Nelson. So I've always wanted to get more into his music and stuff like that. And, and everybody really liked that Johnny Cash movie that Walk Hard is a ripoff of. It's like such a good ripoff.
I do every so often. I'll go back and watch that. And
it's
just
so goddamn funny.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
It's definitely and I have heard a good amount of Johnny Cash. Honestly, Ghost Riders. Obviously, I listened to that song when I was a little kid. I've always liked that song. Because I was into fucking comics. That song and Black Sabbath, Iron Man. I knew about those songs because I was into comics, and I loved Ghost Rider comics and Iron Man comics. And yeah, it was fucking... So there's something kind of cool. You're right, it's definitely something that broaden the horizons a little bit. That's what we're doing here, people. Yeah. That's what we do. That's why we're all lost in the dark. Broaden our horizons. Fucking...
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Fucking... It's totally random, but I mean, I don't know, I guess it kind of goes with this, but like, I got really into... more so lately, for whatever reason, like whenever I'm over at my parents' place, like we always watch these music documentaries or like these like, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's like historical stuff, and other times it's like unsolved mystery type like
cool
ID investigative stuff or whatever. But like, I don't know, we were watching this one about
sound like my kind of people.
It's well, I don't know, because like sometimes my mom will watch them, but she's it kind of surprised me too, because like she's always putting on those I can never remember what the name of the show is with the two it's like ghost show with the two different people. Like she goes in and investigates it, and then like he interviews them and like writes down a bunch of stuff, and then, like I don't remember what the name is.
I don't know what that one's called.
But anyway, so yeah, it's stuff like that. It's kind of like random. Yeah, so we got watching a documentary about Biggie, Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, that, like, set me down the rabbit hole of, like, listening to his music and stuff and, like, kind of, like, hearing everything. And it's like, man, like, this is, I think it's just, like, the realness of it
Yeah.
that I kind of get into or whatever. And just set aside the fact that, like, the whole, like, story of, like, what happened as far as, like, and the fact that it kind of, like, gets me is, like, they still can't, like, nobody knows.
Yeah.
What happened, and like just the like there's like the theory that like the cops did it and stuff, and like all this stuff, and so yeah, like kind of like stuff like that, kind of like it's an odd way of getting into things that you wouldn't normally get into, but sometimes it just happens, like
Oh, I love
like
getting into stuff off of documentaries. Yeah, yeah.
Like it makes it was like I didn't think I would ever like actually enjoy this, but like. I do, and like I think Not Ready to Die or like Ready to Die or something like that.
Which one's that?
I think it's like his first album.
Oh, okay.
Like yeah,
okay.
like
I thought you were talking about another documentary. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're. But yeah, like that album is like it's like even now, and that was like a couple months ago. Like that album now is like on repeat. I usually listen to it like once a week for some reason. Like it's I don't know. And then there's like I think we watched one about like the Eagles one day or like just like different stuff. And
my mom likes the Eagles.
So, yeah, dude. And like I don't know the one about Journey.
The Sam.
Yeah.
Sam. I had Journey. You mean Rush?
That one too. Yeah.
He did one on Journey.
I don't think he did. Like I don't think that's one of his. But there is one about that. And, like,
I haven't seen the Journey one.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Hell
actually,
yeah.
Like I don't know if you know how they found their new singer. He was
guy that's currently.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He was a guy. I don't remember where he was from. He was from. It was from a country that was. To be specific about it, I don't know. But like I don't know. He was just from a place where there was just like a lot of poverty and stuff, and it was just pretty like
different country.
Yeah, it was pretty rough and stuff, and he put this video of him covering one of their songs on YouTube. And it was around the same time when they were looking for a new singer, because after like what happened and stuff, and they came across him, and it talks about like all the first time that they met him and stuff, and like their first audition, and like their practice or whatever, and like I guess it was just terrible, and like he just like I don't know if he was like sick or something, but like it was just bad, and like they kind of like they almost didn't call him back and stuff, and then so they kind of like let him like rest up or whatever for the night and stuff, and they came back to it, and he was just like. Like spot on, and like that was kind of it or whatever. And then like he's like all around the world with this band, like with his favorite band and stuff from like coming from pretty much nothing. Just like
that's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's cool.
YouTube.
Yeah,
that's fucking wild. That's sweet. No, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that out.
I think it's as with most of their like stuff that's popular. I think it's just called "Don't Stop Believing" or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Good way to put it.
But it's kind of
I love the Defiant Ones is another one of my favorite music documentaries ever.
I don't know if we ever finished watching.
We never finished it. No,
not to do that.
Not together.
Yeah.
But holy shit, is that one good? Make you want to go out and buy all the Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre albums.
NWA. That's another one I've been into lately for some reason.
Hell yeah.
Which I should like. I don't know. You wouldn't think. But like
Well, I mean, no, because they were, right next to the heavy metalers on the Filthy 15. So
yeah, Jasta
and his podcast seemed to be a conduit for this the intermingling sometimes, especially with this new D. Snyder album coming out,
which is gonna be. I'm surprised I'm as excited about it as I am.
I want to pre-order it. Yeah. I'm thinking about pre-ordering it.
Did you hear, I think they put out another song today from it.
I haven't heard it yet, but...
I like the other song
I like the first one a lot.
Surprised, like I said, surprised at the amount that I actually liked it. Because I wasn't into, like, Twisted Sister really or anything like that.
Oh, I love Twisted Sister, dude.
Well,
my God.
Yeah.
I love Twisted Sister. I saw them live.
I bet that was
in costume.
Was awesome. Yeah.
Yes, it was. In the rain.
Yeah, but I do highly respect
D. Snyder. Oh, so yeah.
For like
everything he's done. Yeah.
So
yeah, he is one of the greats, and his fucking House of Hair radio show is awesome.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that every Sunday is when it's on the rock stations here in Lansing, and I used to listen to that shit every fucking Sunday. But yeah, I'm really excited about that album too. What's her name? Elisa, the current vocalist of Arch Enemy. She's on it, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear
And,
that.
Howard from
Now,
formerly of Killswitch, but
right?
Yeah, Light the Torch now, and that's one I would definitely say to check out because that's I don't know, it's nice to hear him back doing music.
Hell yeah!
Now. I mean, because I subscribe to that service just to be able to listen to his podcast and like get everything like first day. Josh does.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's like extra episodes and like every one that he's done up to that point or whatever. So he's done like pretty sure every month he has one with Howard on it, and just kind of like hearing his whole like story and like I don't know how he's like battled with depression and just like I don't know all that's just so it's cool to hear him be able to like get past all that and get back to doing music and stuff. And
fuck yeah,
I think. I mean, the world kind of needs somebody like him. Like his voice and stuff is it's super unique, and it's just I don't know. I've always really been a fan of his.
Hell yeah, I've always his another one of my all time favorite covers is his cover of fucking Holy Diver.
Yeah, dude. With I think it was Devil You Know before it was Light the Torch. I found it the other day, and like it shocked me because it was like I didn't know that it even existed, but they did a cover of Eye of the Tiger.
Really?
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
Probably sick.
Yeah, dude. Like,
that's probably real.
Yeah,
good.
I was like, man, this like jam this every day.
Fuck
like,
yeah. Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that'd be sick. Hell yeah. Fuck.
So yeah, that album though is really really good. It's not quite as heavy as Killswitch. There's a lot more singing on it and stuff. But
I've heard that.
That's not a bad thing at all, especially when you're talking about like his vocal style and everything, because he's always kind of done both.
No, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So what rating would you give the Devil Driver album so far?
We kind of veered off that quite a bit. I think as it sits right now, I'd probably give it a 4 just because I haven't really listened to it.
Yeah, you haven't given it the proper listen, but just off of what you heard of 4, that's strong.
Yeah.
So, fuck yeah.
I'd recommend it.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You wanna wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's only been at it for a short while, but I mean, it is, it's a little later.
Fucking.
I feel like there was something else we were gonna.
We have some things that just got announced.
Oh.
Wait, we have to talk about real quick.
Oh.
So first of all, on last July Friday the 13th, Guar was here, and I missed him sadly. But they're coming back this time to Detroit. I don't have a ticket yet, but I want to get one. I want to get somebody to go with me. So Guar.
I feel like I'm like surprised that I haven't seen them.
I'm surprised I haven't either. Yeah. And I need to.
Yeah.
I feel like we should go to that because it's right on top of Halloween too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like 2 days before Halloween, and it's like the 29th or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So a Halloween Guar show.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
Yeah.
20. It's like $20.
Yeah.
Like, but then the week after Guar, come the Dark Lords.
Oh my god.
Behemoth.
Oh my god. With At the Gates.
Headlining Behemoth at the Gates. Who else?
Wolves in the Throne Room.
Wolves in the Throne Room.
I'm
Yep.
pretty sure. Yeah. Just
at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit.
I still gotta get my ticket for it.
I got mine.
Yeah. I about passed out when I saw that At the Gates was on that because I did not think that they would ever because they've put out a couple albums and stuff. They don't really tour the States very much.
All right.
And
I gotta check them out because you and Preston told me we both said the same thing when I sent you those texts. You're like, dude, at the fucking Gates, holy shit! I was like, oh, I thought you'd be excited about Behemoth.
Them too,
right.
Yeah. Mostly just because I haven't had the chance to see them on a headline date, and that was
I've never seen them headline.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was like. That was my only real complaint as far it wasn't really a complaint, it was just more like a thought about when they were with Lamb of God. It was just like I just wanted more.
How cool would it be to see
this?
I
just wanted to see more of it and stuff.
Well, now we're gonna see it at an even smaller venue.
Oh.
Remember fucking St. Andrews?
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, you were just there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah. That is gonna be insane.
Yeah. I'm extremely excited about that.
Yeah.
So literally, here's what's going on for me. 4 weeks in a row. Arch Enemy in Flint, Guar in Detroit, Behemoth in Detroit, and then the following week in Grand Rapids, Cannibal fucking Corpse.
I still got my ticket for that too.
Coming back to Michigan. As I somehow Nostradamus.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like,
Weird.
they're coming back in November.
Yeah.
They've been here every November for like the past 2 or 3
Yeah.
years. So I was like, I bet they're going to do it again.
They're with
Hate Eternal.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Eric Rutan's band.
Oh, shit, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to see that guy too? Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god. This is Death Metal Dream Tour.
Yeah, dude.
And there's another one on it too. Who is it?
Harm's Way. What
Yep.
they're called.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah. Which I mean,
Oh.
I don't know. They gotta be
Oh my god.
good. 'Cause
No, yeah, I bought my ticket to that. It was like out the door. It's like $33, I think.
yeah. Priest and Deep Purple.
Oh yeah, that's
As
coming
well.
up. I was just talking about from like
Oh.
the second to last week of October to the second week of November.
Yeah.
It's that fucking metal one a week. I'm gonna be hitting. I'm so excited.
I should get a ticket for Arch Enemy.
You should. That's gonna be a fun one. Goat Horror is gonna be there too.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Plus, I've never seen them except for DVDs and stuff.
Yeah.
So to be able to say that I've at least like seen them.
And they're probably gonna have a good set list.
Yeah.
I need to listen to War Eternal a little bit more. I listened to it a couple times and it's not grabbing me, but I also need to. I know I need to pay more attention. Like when I'm listening to it, I'm kind of doing other shit. So yeah, we got some big ones coming. Next one though is Slayer, and then 3 days later is Metal Fest. That's my next two. So Slayer and Metal Fest coming up. That's a while. It's like a month away though.
Yeah.
So, got some time. Got some downtime after Devil Driver. Oh my god, dude. This is a hell of a year for concerts.
Yeah, dude.
Son of a bitch. What was the
God.
other one you sent me, too? You sent me another one of
Oh.
bands that I didn't...
Yeah. After the Burial and the Acacia
Oh,
Strain.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Doing Continent, which is one of my favorite albums.
Okay.
It's the album that got me into them.
Hell yeah.
And After the Burial is doing Rare Form, which is like their first one, I think.
Nice.
So that'd be cool. And then two others, but I think they're playing 2 dates in Michigan.
Hell yeah.
So I'd really like to go to that just to see Continent live.
That'd be cool.
And it's kind of interesting because you've been seeing a lot of bands play like either like 10-year sets or
Yeah.
like just deciding that they're gonna play like the whole new album.
Yeah. It's lots and lots of them are doing that right now.
It's sick. It's a little nostalgic,
Uh-huh.
but it also makes me feel really fucking old sometimes. Like, cause like, dude, like I remember, and I say that because I just I think the last one before Devil Driver was Whitechapel and Black Dahlia Murder, and they were both doing just that. Black Dahlia played all of Nightbringers, and then Whitechapel played This Is Exile.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, hearing that song, like, the title track from that, and being like, what is this? Like, this is so heavy. Like, and that was, like, kind of like the start of the whole deathcore era, really.
Yep. Oh,
like,
yeah, Whitechapel. 100%.
Between them and Suicide Silence.
Yeah.
I had that same reaction when I heard them for the first time, because I think it was called The Green Monster. It was one of the first songs between that and, like, Price of Beauty, I think. And then it was No Pity for a Coward.
Hell yeah.
Which is, I don't know, everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
It's like notorious or whatever, and I never did get the chance to see them with Mitch. Kind of bums me out. Yeah, because I had the chance to, but I just didn't have a way out there and everything. And I don't know. I was pretty young. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool to see bands doing that with, because, a lot of times, I mean, when that was coming out, I didn't really have a way to, like, get out to, kind of like you just said, like, I didn't really have a way to get out to these shows and stuff to see these songs that I loved or whatever at the time when they were new, and to kind of hear them, like, later kind of, like, reformed and, like, like, reshaped a little bit.
Oh, and even when that album first came out, they probably only played 2-3 songs off it on the tour.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I think they only had one other one out.
Oh, so they might have done a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. It's a toss-up for me because on one hand, I don't know, it's a little different because sometimes you want to hear a mix of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And other times it would be cool if, like, you know, but at the same time, like, and it's more so specifically with Whitechapel, just because they're playing Metal Fest, and I'll kind of have the chance to kind of like hear some different songs from them and stuff that they didn't play before.
Yeah, you get the chance to get both doses this year.
Yeah.
You get the full album and the mix. So that's gonna be exciting.
And I think I've seen them 2 other times. First time was at Mayhem Fest, and that was sick. I think that was the first time I saw them.
I've seen them there too, a couple times.
They're really good live, I think.
Oh yeah, no, they're way. I like them more live than on the album for sure.
Yeah.
They're good on the album, but live they're insane. Absolutely. So yeah, some big fucking shit coming down the pipeline. Honestly, if this year rounds out, if it's just Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I'm okay with it. But if Steel Panther comes, I'll shit a brick. Because then I've, like, literally seen everyone. Like, everyone but, like, Bodum is, like... And I just saw them last November. So...
Dude, it's been a cool year.
It's been a great year for shows so far.
Yeah.
Seeing some good ones. Getting under the belt. Getting into it. Starting podcasts. Going to shows. You're making shows. Yeah. Fucking fantastic. We got fucking Godzilla trailer dropping today like a fucking beast. Holy shit.
You haven't seen that yet.
Holy shit. See it now.
Do yourself a favor.
See it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Between that and Aquaman. That was cool too.
If you haven't seen this Godzilla trailer, stop listening to this, you idiot. And go watch that shit. It's incredible. Yeah, no, I had goosebumps. I was like shaking when I was watching. I could not fucking believe what I was seeing. I can't believe this is real life.
I think you're the only person I've ever gotten a text from that's been super excited about listening to a panel from Comic-Con about Godzilla. Like, I was like, fuck yeah, but it's like, I don't know.
I just knew that's when the trailer was coming.
Yeah.
So
I was like, all right, cool, yeah.
T-minus. Just count down the minutes.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm so excited. I couldn't help it. I could not stop thinking about it. Oh, and I'm going to watch it 80 more times tonight, guaranteed.
You were like, I can't sleep because of this, and now I'm excited because of, like, I don't know. It was a mash of different, like...
I think I just woken up too, and I was immediately thinking about it. Oh my god.
Yeah. So 12:04 this afternoon or this morning or whatever. T-minus 88 minutes until Warner Bros. Legendary panel starts at Comic-Con. I'm so excited I had a hard time falling asleep, and now I can't go back to sleep because it's all I can think about. And I don't think I went to bed till like 4 or 5. And then Preston said something, like, trying to downplay it, and you're like, nah, bro.
Never.
Like,
never.
Sorry, you're wrong. Like,
it's like, what
not
if
a
it's
chance.
bad? Not a chance. Not even a slim chance. Because, yeah, no. Just no. There's no way.
No.
Because I have... You know, it's kind of like the Marvel movies. All you gotta do is show me the superheroes doing what I want to see them do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna love it. I'm real easy to please. It's fucking, oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah. You know, they moved it. It was originally going to be in March 2019. They moved it to May because they think it's going to, like, I guess May is a better month for box office, and they think it's going to do better, so.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of the month, kind of.
And
beginning of the summer.
And I remember a couple months ago, someone did a test screening of unfinished footage of it for, like, a few people. And one of those people gave an interview, and they're like, well, I can't really say anything, but everybody complained in the first one about how little Godzilla was in it, and I just saw the first 45 minutes, and I don't think anybody's going to have that complaint for this movie. I was like, yes!
Judging by the fact that there's more than that happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
like,
much more.
Yeah.
So much more. So much more is happening. You know, and I started thinking about, wonder if it's going to be Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra versus Ghidorah. Because Rodan and Mothra have always been sometimes good guys.
Yeah.
So, or at least on Godzilla's team.
I think if it does well enough, because I don't know, I'd like to see kind of like because I don't know, I guess it did happen a few years ago, but like just like the resurgence of the big monster movies and stuff like that. Because I think there's a point where obviously the Marvel movies are doing what they're doing, continuing
Killing
to
it.
be like number one.
And masterpieces.
Yeah, for like any of them that come out, they're all like, they're all about that and stuff, and you tend to do pretty well. But I think there's a point where there needs to be kind of something new and kind
Something
of
a
like
little different.
Yeah, and I think that this is like, like I said, if it does well enough, it could really,
I think
kind of be the next big thing, so to speak. So
considering how much money they're gonna make off of my ticket sales alone, I think I'm gonna fund the next. Well, the next one's already in production. It's gonna come out the next year after the next one. So
you just call up NCG and just be like, hey,
I'm gonna need to reserve the Extreme Theater
as a matter of fact, just give me all the tickets for the theater. I want to like
for the weekend.
Yeah.
I will just put it on repeat, and that's where I'll be for the next 72 hours.
I'll clean up after myself. Like
Ain't gonna be a lot. Just have someone bring me popcorn. I don't want to get up.
Just
That's my only request.
Just wheel one of those. I don't know, like the vending machine, like the pop machines that they have or whatever in there.
Bring it to me.
Bottom of the steps, and then have one of those popcorn makers next to it.
Yeah, so the whole theater smells like popcorn the whole time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I would be in heaven. That would be heaven for me. Oh my god. Dude, and now, see, that's the thing, is I'm unbelievably ecstatic about this. But in 1 year from right now, at 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, we're gonna get a trailer for Godzilla vs. King fucking Kong.
Yeah.
And then I might actually stroke out and die during that reaction video. Like, Jesus Christ. This is unreal for me. This is just unreal. I'm so excited. Whoo! This is gonna be amazing. Alright, let's wrap this up.
Alright.
Everybody, go fucking check out Bog Wraith. Check out the Facebook, the Bandcamp, the Instagram. Active on all of them. Fucking check out Lost in the Dark. Active on Facebook and Instagram. And YouTube, obviously. Fucking hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go to Amazon. Is Bandcamp the only place to buy Bog Wraith merch right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to Bandcamp for Bog Wraith merch. If you want some new shit, come to fucking Michigan Metal Fest in August.
Yeah, dude.
First week August, first Saturday. And then, go to Amazon, search Lost in the Dark podcast, find some t-shirts, check shit out that you like. Fucking, yeah, that's about it. We will be back again soon.
Hopefully sooner than later, but...
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon with all kinds of fun stuff. We love you all. Good night.